welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the movie Godzilla vs. Kong. Now this is a sequel to both Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. And this is also the fourth film in the MonsterVerse series. And this is also the 36th film in the Godzilla franchise and the 12th film like in the overall King Kong franchise. Now I must admit, I was kind of excited about seeing this too, and then when I finally seen it, I must admit I did enjoy it. It does have like some nice battles between like Godzilla and King Kong, and it kind of reminds you like other films like on this level that did like versus films like Batman v Superman, like Alien versus Predator, like these kind of films where they have like versus matches, because this is spoiler alert. They don't only have like one battle. They actually have like a couple of battles throughout the film. They have like a first battle, then like a second battle, then they have like another battle. You know, then of course some like huge like threat comes. And they both have to like this spoiler, you know, team up and have to take out this particular threat. I already knew about the like threat that they actually have like in the film. That other actual like monsters supposed in the film, I already kind of knew about that. So I'm sure like a lot of us already did know about that. So it's like no longer spoiler territory. But this film did turn out to be pretty exciting. Now at times I do feel that the visual effects could have been better, but it still turned out to be a pretty solid film, especially like when they're actually having like their battles, like their fights. The actual visuals do like look pretty good at times, I'm not gonna lie. Now I want to touch on like a lot of the characters in the film, but there's like a bunch of them. Like of course you have Millie Bobby Brown as Madison. She returns to the film and she's trying to figure out why Godzilla is like destroying people, like cities and all that kind of stuff. 'Cause that's what the film itself is actually about. Godzilla is like on a rampage, like going through like causing like destruction around like cities and all kind of stuff like that. So that's why they need Godzilla. I mean not Godzilla, but King Kong to actually take out Godzilla. And they also give an explanation for what's going on with King Kong too. They actually have him like in this like dome thing where he's like trapped inside like I think it's actually still like Skull Island if I'm not mistaken, but it's like some kind of like holographic like dome thing. King Kong himself even knows it too, because at one point he takes like this tree and he throws it up into the sky and it goes right into the dome, so he does know that he's actually like inside of a dome. You also have like other characters, like I said, I want to get into all of them, but I'm not going to touch on them because there's so many. Like Myrna Hayes, he kind of stands out. He teams up for Madison, and he's played by Brian Tyree Henry, like he's in the film too as well. Now it's also directed by Adam Wingard, and like I said, I thought it was a pretty good film, but that is basically what the plot itself is mostly about. You actually have to have King Kong. They need King Kong's help to actually stop Godzilla from doing what he's doing. Then at the same time, this is a spoiler alert too. They actually are building like a secret weapon, which would need like a power, like a powerful like a thing. I think that Godzilla knows about the power thing. Well, King Kong knows about it too, I believe. They actually need this power thing to actually be able to power the Mecha Godzilla, which they have in the film. So they have Mecha Godzilla, who shows up in the film too as well, and that's what eventually Kong and Godzilla have to actually fight and take out. I hate to spoil like that, but I'm sure like a lot of people already had knew about it. Now this film also stars Rebecca Hall, I think Sean Quagiri, Eiza Gonzalez. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all of them. And it is like a pretty solid film. Like the action scenes I thought were pretty good. So whenever you see like Kong and Godzilla fighting, it is awesome, because they had like their first fight like in the water, like on the ship. Like they was trying to transport like King Kong to like another destination. That's when Godzilla showed up. So they have like a fight on like the ships and in the water, and it's awesome because they even fight under the water. Then later on they had like a fight I think in Hong Kong where they're actually like in the city. And then that's when Mecha Godzilla eventually shows up and so on. But this was it was pretty entertaining, you know. I don't know if there's going to be any more films in this MonsterVerse. I think it's kind of complete unless they decide to actually take it further, because there wasn't any like hidden like Easter eggs or anything like that in the film, or nothing like as far as like after credits go. But in Godzilla vs. Kong, this was a pretty solid film, so I'm gonna give this a B-, and I would definitely recommend for like fans of like Godzilla or like King Kong type films. And it's clear who the winner really was, you know, but just leave it at that. So this was a pretty solid film, and I'm giving this a B-. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well. Oh yeah, and I also saw this in the theater too. I know it's also like available on HBO Max, but I actually saw it in the theater, like an IMAX. I'm giving this a B-. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.